waiting for that clock. Good evening and welcome to Spalding County Board of Commissioners, July 24th Board of Zoning Public Hearing. I would ask that you please silence your cell phones and all other electronic devices. At this time, I'd like to make sure that everybody understands the announcements that have been made earlier. Items 18, 19, and 20 of new business on your agenda are being tabled until August 28th at the request of the applicant. Items 21 and 22 of new business are also being tabled until the August meeting. Items 1 and 2 of other business are also being tabled until the August 11th meeting. At this time, I would like to ask Commissioner Reginald Watts of District 3 to deliver the invocation and Commissioner James Dutton of District 2 to lead us in the pledge to the flag.
Let us pray. In the powerful name of Jesus, Lord, we just want to thank you, God. Lord, we want to thank you for who you are. And Lord, right now, we just asking for you to give us understanding, God. Lord, peace, God. And Lord, as we make decisions on behalf of your people, God, that they be decisions that is pleasing in your eyesight. It is in the powerful name of Jesus we have prayed. Amen, amen, and amen.
Amen.
Please join me in the pledge to our great nation.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, gentlemen. As you will notice, one of our commissioners is not here. She is out of the state. She is trying to Zoom in. If she can Zoom in, she will be, because we have a quorum here, she will be allowed to vote. So you may hear Commissioner Gwen Flowers Taylor from District 1 come in. It's a little bit more awkward where she is to be able to do that. New business. Consider the final plat for Leverett Acres, a 9-lot minor. No, not yet. Not yet. Excuse me. Let me start again. Consider the final plat for Leverett Acres, a 9-lot minor residential subdivision with no new streets. There's no new public hearing required. Mr. Allen, would you please review the application for us and indicate the staff's position and recommendation?
Yes, sir. So this was approved by the Planning Commission for a preliminary plat earlier in the year or late last year. The layout has not deviated from the approved preliminary plat. It meets all the standards of R2 zoning in terms of lot width and lot size. The only requirement for construction on this was fire hydrants, which were put in, and the water authority confirmed they were and approved them. So now we're to the final plat stage, and again, it's met all requirements.
Okay. I want to.
This is on aerodrome?
Aerodrome and Carver, the intersection of.
I want to make sure. Some people ask me periodically about the Planning Commission and what that is. That, so everybody knows, that is a series of civilians, citizens who have come to us and said, I'd like to volunteer to be the citizen response to a request. So when someone says to me, hey, what citizens have you had look at this? Just regular citizens. The Planning Commission are the people that do that for us. All right.
We always need volunteers for boards too. So
Yes.
if you want to get involved, there's plenty of open spots.
Thank you. This time I'd entertain a motion to approve the Leverett Acres 9-lot minor residential subdivision with no new streets.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion and I have a second.
Second.
Any more discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 4-0, motion carries. Item number 2, consideration of revision of the Grayson Park Phase 2 Alpha final plat. There's no public hearing required. Mr. Allen?
Okay, so we have, a revision to phase 2A and 2B of Grayson Park tonight. They're very minor revisions. Nevertheless, it's gone before the board before with some revisions. Phase 2A, there is a revision in the lot line for building 1, which is lots 1 through 5. There is a mislabeling. They corrected on that. And in phase 2B, for the as-built on the townhomes, there are some revisions of the notes listing the various lot and building numbers on those, so those have been corrected as well. So very minor changes to this plat.
So these are more editorial changes, they're not adding any lots or anything?
No, sir, no design changes whatsoever.
I'll entertain a motion.
Do we need to do those separately, A
Yes.
and then B?
I think so.
Yes.
Yes.
Motion to approve item number 2.
All right, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 4-0, motion carries.
Motion to approve number 3, 2B.
Okay. I have a motion to approve Grayson Park Phase 2B, final plat. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 4-0, motion carries. Item number 4, consideration of revision to the rear of lot 14 of the Manley Road subdivision final plot. There's no public hearing required. Mr. Allen?
Okay, so I was approached by a citizen several weeks ago for this. He actually lives on the other street, not Manley Road, but, sorry. He lives behind Manley Road on another street. There is a pond back there that he would like to acquire and separate off the, lot 14 of the Manley Road subdivision. So being a plat revision to that subdivision, it's required to come back to you guys. So the revised drawing shows the pond on the back of lot 14, which was not buildable anyway, as being part of his lot. On Parkway Drive, 213 Parkway Drive. So that final plat revision reflects that change by carving off that portion of the pond off of lot 14 of the Manley Road subdivision.
Who then owns the lake? Like, is there an HOA or something that?
Okay.
I mean, what's to be done with the lake? Like, who pays the property taxes on the lake? Who?
It's a private one. I don't believe, yeah, it's not a community one, like an amenity.
And if the plat's right, it's the lake and the shore of most of the lake, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I want to make sure, can everybody hear Director Allen in the back? All right, David, just make sure you've got the microphone close enough to you to be able to say, I want to make sure everybody can hear us while we're doing. All right, do I have a motion to approve?
So move.
Yeah, second.
And a second, I have a second. Any more discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 4-0, motion carries. Item number 5, consideration of revision of Manley Road subdivision final plat. There's no public hearing required. Mr. Allen?
Speaking of Manley Road, this is actually on the subdivision itself. There is a proposal in here for lots 7 through 11 to divide them further to make extra lots on the subdivision. You have it reflected there in the final plat drawing I gave you. When this subdivision was approved, it was required that any final plat revision such as this come before this board again, so that's why you're seeing it again. So basically, lot 7 became a lot 7 and 7A, and then lot 9 became a lot 9 and 9A. So there's a net increase of 2 lots on here. I had recommended it for denial. It did meet the requirements of the zoning code as far as the zoning in terms of width and area. However, I know the board has been reluctant to increase lots in subdivisions where it's been approved for a certain number of lots, and also the increase in driveways and curb cuts that will result. So that was my reasoning behind denial for this particular request.
David, what's our road frontage requirement?
For that particular one in, R2, I believe it is, believe it or not, it is the, 100 feet. It's different than AR1.
What was the planning commission's recommendation?
Their recommendation was denial as well.
Okay,
Don't we have something about?
No, I'm
T-
sorry, it didn't go to front of them, it goes directly to you.
Don't we have something about T lots?
Flag lots,
Yeah, the flag lots.
we do, the definition is not great, but the current definition is one where the frontage width, i.e. the property line along the right-of-way, is less than what is required. In this case, it meets the required frontage width.
all right, so the staff's recommendation is denial,
Yes, sir.
okay? Do I have a recommendation to deny?
Motion to deny.
Okay, I have a motion, do I have a second?
A second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 4-0, motion is denied. Item number 6.
I'll be happy to, yes, sir.
Yes.
Public hearing, application 2507S, Denise Rowland, owner, 4517 West McIntosh Road, Griffin, Georgia, 30223, located in land lot 52 of the 4th Land District, parcel number 262B01008, consisting of 0.93 acres. The applicant is requesting a special exception for a general home occupation for an in-home daycare per section 503D5.
I would entertain a motion to go into public hearing for the purpose of hearing from those who have signed up for the petition to speak in support or opposition of the application.
Motion to go into public hearing.
All right, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 4-0. Dr. Ledbetter, do we have people to speak in?
Mr. Chair, we do not have anyone signed up to speak on this application.
Do I have a motion to close public hearing?
Motion to come out of public hearing.
And do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 4-0. Motion, we're closed.
Mr. Chairman, I believe the applicant was on her way. She takes care of her elderly mother. She was on her way. Is she, Ms. Rowland, present yet?
My only question about this is that it says the current use is a gas station on the documents we've.
Oh, that's a typo.
Okay.
It's a
I was
house.
like, that seems like a weird spot for a
Sorry.
gas station.
No in-home daycare at a gas station, that's sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now
That'd
this-
be even weirder than back of the gas station for your daycare.
This is a home daycare center, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right.
And it complies.
This means state
Yes.
gets involved in licensing and all of that stuff that has to go on with it.
Yes, sir, that is correct. The state would be the oversight for this. In fact, you will have to file additional paperwork with the state for licensing for this daycare.
Can we add a fourth condition about parking? Home occupancy businesses are fine, but it shouldn't the
Clog
idea
up.
is to not be visible and to not be, so can we, I don't know how we word this, like,
David, can you put the wording in there to be able to do that? We've had it before.
Would the board approve for the condition of the ordinance that was voted on just a few weeks ago where there is no parking allowed on county roads?
yeah,
And
certainly
we
that.
would just add that as the condition that the in-home business would be required to adhere to no parking on the county road.
well, I think it's more than that. I don't want 10 cars in their front yard and waiting on the kid, you know what I mean? Like, that's gonna disturb the neighbors.
So she is gonna have a maximum and the program
kids,
only
sure.
allows 6 kids. And it'd be a drop-off and pick-up situation.
I still think we need parking situation where we try to say, hey, figure out some wording that limits the amount of space that she can do. If you're living next door or somewhere around and all of a sudden 3 cars are always coming in and parking there at the same time. So I think it's a good point.
You know what I mean?
Commissioner
I don't know how we word that, but I don't want that to disturb the neighbors.
No
I
parking
mean, I got
on,
no problems otherwise.
no parking on road and parking only on paved areas or something? Or-
Max-
We'll find something.
Yeah, a maximum is what I think is a better thing. All right.
So do we want to table until we find something, or do we want to?
I think we can approve.
Is time of the essence for her? Is she trying to open?
Yeah,
next
it
week?
is. She's looking to get the state there and
Oh, yeah, sure.
acted pretty quick.
Okay. If you have the words, you're able to put the words in, I trust he'll be able to do that. All right, do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve with staff recommendations for conditions with a fourth condition, relative to parking and the restrictions therefore.
All right, I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion, any other discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hands. 4-0, motion carries. I have a motion to come out of public hearing.
We already did.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
Oh, I see, yeah, yeah.
excuse me, wrong part of the sheet. All right.
There's a lot going on tonight, a lot going on tonight.
Item number 7. Isn't that where we are?
No, we just voted on seven, so
Actually,
we're
just
eight.
voted on 7.
Okay, oh, yes. Item number 8.
Item number 8, public hearing, application 2519Z,
I see what we've done.
Guru Bondi LLC, owner 390 Airport Road, Griffin, Georgia 30224, located in land lot 116 of the Second Land District, parcel number 236010448A, consisting of 1.33 acres. The applicant is requesting to rezone from C1 Highway Commercial to C1B Heavy Commercial for a wider range of commercial uses, including U-Haul rentals.
Motion to go into public hearing.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, please signify by raising your hands. We're in public hearing. Dr. Ledbetter, did anybody sign up?
No, sir, we do not have anyone signed up for this application this evening.
Do I have a
Motion
motion?
to come out of public hearing.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to come out of public hearing. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 4-0. We're out of public hearing.
This is the lot that's a gas station right now, right? That's next to 1941.
Yes, sir. It's at the corner of, I believe, Enterprise and Airport Road, right there, right at 1941.
Haven't we turned this down before?
Yes, we've denied this before.
Motion to
I
deny.
believe. I'm looking at David. We denied this one before.
Back in February of 2024, he had to wait a whole year to reapply again, so this is his reapplication.
Motion to deny.
All right, I have a motion to deny. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 4-0. Okay, let's see. Application number 9.
Application number 9, 2519Z. Please forgive me, this is the second part of that, is that correct? So does this become moot, Mr. Attorney?
Yes, we've already, you just voted on that, did you have it on there twice? I only
Please-
have one
please
rezoning
forgive
me.
application.
Yep. You're
Yes,
exactly
sir.
right.
There's two Manley Roads. This is a commercial one.
No,
No, number 9, we just voted on
We
number
just
9.
did no round.
Please
so.
forgive me.
Okay,
So we are at
Oh,
number
sorry.
10, Mr. Chair.
yes.
Public hearing, application 2504Z, Manley Road Investment Group LLC, owner 212 Manley Road, Griffin, Georgia 30223, located in land lot 103 of the Third Land District, parcel number 242A01005, consisting of 36.28 acres. The applicant is requesting to rezone from AR1 Agricultural Residential to C1 Highway Commercial to create a multi-lot commercial subdivision with various permitted uses. A portion of the property is already zoned C1.
Do I have a motion?
Motion to go into public hearing.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. We're in public hearing. Just so you know, it takes us a second for the county manager to get everything down on who did it, when he did it, what times, and all that stuff.
It's very true. Mr. Chair, we do have 4 people who have signed up for this application this evening. Hobby Davenport,
Mr. Davenport, please come forward and state your name and address.
You probably get that more often, Hobie.
Made that same mistake last
yeah,
night.
I did, and I am so sorry. Hobby,
That's Hobie for the
Hobie,
record.
Hobie. I'm gonna get it right one day, I
Hobie
promise.
Davenport, 238 Manley Road. We're really concerned about this development because of the water drainage already on Dunwoody Circle. We're asking that underground storm detention systems be instrumental in the development of this property due to the impervious water that will be created by the road and everything else, the buildings, roofs, and that kind of thing. If not, the east side of Dunwoody Circle will have major, they're already having drainage issues, it'll create more major issues for them. Why expand commercial properties on the north side of Griffin with no plan that I'm aware of to add sewer to anywhere on the north side of the county? Beaverbrook School, Southern Pit Barbecue, Chronic Chevrolet are all on septic systems and are having major issues with those, having to have them done, have them pumped quite regularly, which is quite an expense. The entrance at Manley Road in 1941 already has 6 different outlets in or out of Manley Road, with an additional intersection there just west of 1941. It's going to create an additional problem for an already overburdened intersection there. And with the revised proposal of the parcels going from 13 original units to 6 units, will there be any provision in the contract for this property that will prevent them from subdividing from 6 to 13 somewhere down the road after you approve the project? And then who determines the buffer that is required between the private property on the west side of that property and the residential houses that are affected by that property line? We're requesting a 100-foot buffer and from a 10 to 20-foot privacy fence between the residential area and their business, whatever those businesses are going to be. So we're really concerned about the septic systems that are already overburdened on Dunwoody Circle, and we just need some help. If you're going to approve commercial buildings up and down that corridor, which we already know is your long-range plan, you need to provide the infrastructure that goes along with that. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Scott Morris.
Scott Morris, 142 Dunwoody Circle. We've got some concerns about this from a lot of different viewpoints. Like my friend Hobby said, like Mr. Davenport said, you know, there's all kind of concerns about the water. There's concerns about the quality of life. I got a few bullet points, but you know, as a resident taxpayer, as a resident and a taxpayer and a lifelong Spalding County citizen of this community, we have the concerns about a negative impact that this rezoning this land to commercial would have on our neighborhood. The traffic and safety, that's first and foremost. That intersection already with the 6 entrances, it's going to almost have to have a red light of some sort. The traffic, especially if you're trying to leave and going north, it's really, really difficult. The other thing is I'm not sure that the roads are strong enough to hold an industrial facility, not knowing what kind of businesses, not having any information. You know, we don't know. I had heard the last meeting that the site plan had not been approved. May I ask, has the site plan been approved now?
No, sir, it's not finalized.
So can y'all vote still without a site plan being approved? You would still vote to rezone without an approved site plan?
We'll discuss that in a minute.
Okay. The second point is the impact on our property values. We do feel like it's going to negatively affect our property values. I have lived at this address with my wife and my kids for 34 years. We were told when we first moved there that that land could never be developed because of the water. And now this late in the game, we're being told that it can. And it will affect our property values. Again, the strain on the infrastructure, the roads, water, sewer, all that stuff. This 39 acres is not set up for that yet. And the last thing, and this is really the most important thing to me, is the preservation of our neighborhood, the character of our neighborhood. We live on a very, it's almost a rural street because of that swamp on the other side of the road and the acreage. We're sitting right in the middle. The wildlife that we have, the birds that we have, the deer that we feed, all that, all of our life, all of our solitude is going to be gone. We're going to sit on our back deck and we're going to listen to highway noise because we're not going to have that buffer that's there now. We've been there, we've had 34 Christmases, 34 Thanksgivings, we got a big, large deck on the back. That's our solitude. And that's going to be taken away from us. Not given, it's going to be taken away from us. If none of you have if you've never ridden down Dunwoody Circle, you'll see it's not just plat and paper, it's people and lives. So, I urge you guys to take that in consideration and, not change this to commercial. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Scott.
Mike Rye? Sir, if you would, please come this way. So we're streaming live, so we've got you on TV, and we're also recording so that the clerk can capture notes. Thank you. If you would state your name and address for the record, please.
Mike Rye at 128 Dunwoody Circle.
Thank you.
Sir, we also live on the east side of Dunwoody. Our back fence will front the property that's being considered. I just wanted to reiterate that the buffer zone is very important to us, so that we can maintain our neighborhood as a residential neighborhood. And it'll affect both sides of the street, but especially our side. And the water runoff and stormwater, I know it's gonna have to be addressed, but it hasn't been addressed, and like the two gentlemen have said before me, we're very concerned about that, And when we couldn't perk our neighborhood, I spent a ton of money moving my septic tank from my backyard to my front yard because it wouldn't perk. So, and I was having, septic tank problems. So that's the issues I was wanting to make sure was considered, and we appreciate your consideration. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
Jenny Morris?
My name is Jenny Morris. I also live at 142 Dunwoody Circle. And I want to say that, I agree with all of the points that my previous neighbors have explained to you. I'm not here really to add much of anything else to that. I just want to speak from a personal point of view. Our neighborhood has been relatively quiet and safe. Many of us have lived there for 30, 40, 50 years. We've raised our children there. We now enjoy our grandchildren and, backyard barbecues and cookouts. And many of us are worried that the quality of our life is going to change with these business developments happening. And I just want to ask all of you to put yourselves in our place. Imagine if this was going to be built behind your homes. How would you feel? How would it affect your families? And then I would ask you to vote accordingly, as if it was personal to you, because it's very personal to us and our neighborhood community. And I thank you.
Thank you, Jenny.
Mr. Chair, that's all who've signed up for this application.
Motion to come out of public hearing.
I have a motion to come out of public hearing. Do I have a second? Second. I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 4-0, we're out of public hearings. Mr. Allen?
Yes, sir. So bringing up the points again that the citizens brought up tonight, this has been before the planning commission a couple of times with several versions of the site plan. It has improved each time. Still needs some work. I share the concerns of the citizens with the buffers and different things like that. I do have in your packet an alternative layout that I was discussing with the applicant, so that's not finalized yet. What he would like to happen, and I agree, as does the planning commission, is to kind of do a step one tonight, and that's solving the split zoning. It's split down the middle, AR1, C1. This is in a commercial corridor. It needs to be all C1 and eliminate the split zoning. The applicant is fine with that for now, just to see a commitment to making it all commercial. And then we will work on the site plan. It will have to come in front of you again because it's a North Expressway Improvement District property. So you will see a finalized site plan for approval that will not escape your reach. But he would like, and I would like as well, to have the split zoning resolved by having it all rezoned to C1. So that is really what we're asking for tonight, and that was part of the planning commission's motion as well.
Am I correct in saying that whatever conditions we attach to this zoning would attach to the entire lot, right? So both sides of so the AR1 side and the C1 side. So if we unified it as C1 but attached conditions, that would go for the whole property. All right. I've got 5 conditions that if somebody wants to do this, they need to adhere to. Number one, and I think they're very valid. Number one, to ensure storm drainage so that 0 water goes westwards. So if they want to make a berm, if they want to make whatever they need to do, but 0 water needs to leave and go westwards. Number two, they need to leave a 100-foot planted buffer on that western side. Number 3, they need to have a 20-foot privacy fence on the western side. Number 4, any development here must be on municipal or county sewer, whichever gets there. So I think that's a very good point, and we've seen it with all the surrounding ones to the east of this that are on septic, that there's just problem after problem after problem. Here's the solution. Then you just got to go through municipal. And then
I don't think we have any way to get sewer to them currently.
I'm sorry. Traffic study, that's my 5th one, to be done before any kind of development or plat approval. I think that's very valid.
They have already fulfilled that with a preliminary traffic study in your packet, but I wrote down the other 4.
Then write the word final next to traffic study.
All right.
So if anybody's gonna do anything, if y'all wanna make a motion to approve this, I'm only gonna vote for it if it has those 5 things, which would carry for the entire area, which would mean, no water going in, a 20-foot, privacy fence, 100-foot planted buffer. It's got to be serviced by municipal sewer, and they've got to finish a traffic study to make sure that Manley and 1941, if they need a light or whatever.
Okay, let's make sure that the
I'm
other
sorry,
two.
those seem egregious, but that's
Yep,
what's up.
the other 2 commissioners understand. There's no chance of that being able to do the item on sewer that Commissioner. Right now, correct. So that would,
Unless they want to help fund it.
I'm sorry,
Unless they want to help fund it.
yes. Let's
Come
make,
out of Cumming, they got light, right?
all right, so did you make a motion?
Not me. I'm
Okay.
just saying, if y'all want my vote, that's my 5 conditions. That said, I think with those 5 conditions, it actually checks more boxes for that zone than the current issues that they have. I think that would actually proactively solve their current issues and get rid of a lot of their fears, especially the municipal sewer requirement.
All right, Commissioner
Reggie,
Watts,
Ryan.
Commissioner Bolden.
I'll make a motion.
To approve with conditions?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve with conditions that Commissioner Dudley said.
All right, with the sewer, right?
The sewer.
All right, and I take it, James, you second that? All right, so we have approval with that, with that other way around. Any other discussion?
My only concern is, once we do this, we're setting a precedence, and everything that comes in there, because, I mean, these are some pretty excessive requirements. I mean, I agree with the sewer. I mean, we make people sidewalks, any new businesses gotta pay into to have a sewer, hook up to the sewer. 20-foot privacy fence. That's, I mean, the interstate hardly has 20-foot privacy fence sound barriers. The berm, it'll become a pond.
Well,
Have another duck pond next door.
It's not about berm, it's about whatever keeps stormwater
Yeah,
off the property.
Okay,
Right?
like Hobie said,
Yeah, whatever the plan is.
yeah, underground detention, retention.
Yeah.
And
Okay. All right, we have a motion.
And again, there's currently no funding to put in sewer in
Correct.
the North Spalding overlay,
That is correct.
but this would be required if they wanted to build here at all.
Okay,
You have a motion and a second.
I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All those in favor of the motion, please signify by raising your hands. 3. All opposed, like sign. 1. All right, David, do you have what you need?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, before we continue, could I approach you and Dr. Ledbetter for a second?
Can we take a 5-minute recess?
Yes.
Take a recess.
5-minute recess. Whoop. see 4 minutes on each side. There's 17 people who have signed up.
Yeah, appendix C.
Yeah, no, I got no problem with that. All right, we're ready?
Yeah.
We're back in session, please restrict your speaking.
Here we go, guys. Here we go.
Item number 12.
Item number 12, public hearing, application 2409Z, McElroy Rentals LLC owner, 1279 Malloy Road, parcels 2750110, 2833 Williamson Road, parcel 234040002B, and a portion of 2831 Williamson Road, parcel 234040002, located in land lots 22, 43, and 44 of the Second Land District, consisting of approximately 12.5 combined acres. The applicant is requesting to rezone from AR1 agricultural residential to C1 highway commercial for a proposed convenience store with fuel service and future office rental spaces.
All right. Do I have a motion to go into public hearing?
Motion to go into public hearing.
Do I have a second? Second. I have a second, motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 4-0.
Mr. Chair, we do have citizens signed up to speak this evening. First up is Mr. Kirk.
So while he's getting there, you remember what the zoning attorney said. We have 20 minutes for each side. We have, I think, 17 people on the opposing side. If we go through 3 minutes on each one of them, then some people are not going to be able to speak. I just want to make sure everybody understands what's going to happen here. So if you're in the first slots and you can reduce yours down to 1 or 2 minutes, it would be helpful for the people who are in the back.
Yeah, hit your bullet points and move on, yeah.
Okay. This starts the 20 minutes for one side.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. My name is Kirk Feldstuhl. I'm with the law firm of Smith, Gambrell, and Russell on behalf of the applicant. I'm at 1105 West Peachtree Street in Atlanta. Is that working for you?
Yes.
Okay.
Can everybody hear? I want to make sure everybody can hear. Okay? Go ahead.
Great. We're here for the applicant, McElroy Rentals, and with us we've got a representative, Mr. Charles Gilbert, who many of you know. If I may start out by approaching, I've got one handout that I'd like to give, if that's all right. We'll talk about it in a moment, but I figured it's better to do it like.
Okay, thank you. Or Steve and I can,
No, we'll go inside here. So.
we can share. Just turn around and kind of show everybody the three pictures so they have a.
These are some renderings, and I've actually got a couple of extras. The
Thank you.
clicker.
Go ahead.
There it is. And I recognize we got a lot of people here, but I would ask for quiet in the room if that's appropriate. This is a request, as you know, to rezone this property from AR1 to C1. It's a combination of 3 parcels that is a larger tract that the McElroys own. And you can see that with the stars. It's at the intersection of Williamson Road and Roversatella Road. What we are looking to do is rezone the front portion, which is 12.5 acres. And just for a little bit of orientation, where the star is roughly where the development will be. The closest property is closest residential property is about 1,000 feet away. This is the proposal. It's the second version of it. What is a proposal for is 12.5 acres. It is a convenience store that has a building that is 10,000 square feet. It's 5,000 square feet of convenience store, and then 2,500 square feet on either side for restaurant or something else that's allowed as right under the C1 zone. It's also got 35 car parking spaces.
How many truck parking spaces?
0.
Okay.
Okay. And for some context, I know there's a lot of discussion. Everybody's aware that we have a historic building. It is not part of this application. The other thing that's important, and we will talk about this a little bit more, but the architecture is something that we're very proud of. Many of you know the McElroys. This is an example of Pike Plaza, which is in Pike County. There's others that are built, but this is what the architecture would be the same style of. It is not something, we'll show you a comparison. It is not something like a typical gas station where we all have our images of what a BP or a Marathon looks like. That is not what this looks like. It is going, the architecture at a basic level will have, it will be a natural color. It will be Spanish stone along the bottom, and it will be, it'll be a natural brick that's higher up in terms of the architecture. It will, in short, be the nicest looking gas station
Like the
in
second
Spalding
rendering?
County. So you have in front of you,
We have an all stone one, and then one that's stone and then brick.
yeah,
And
so
then what looks
these
like hardy
are,
board.
what you have in front of you are, they're renderings or examples, okay? So, and so if you imagine that sort of stone, which is that is natural, that's in the McElroy building, but something that looks similar in terms of rendering here, it would be all stone and brick. The other thing I think that's important to look at is if you look at the last page, which has the pumps, the architecture or the color would match. So it's going to be a natural color. It's not going to be, again, something like you would see at a BP or a Marathon. It would be something that we'd be very proud of and happy to be conditioned to. This was the first application. The first application was submitted, it's much different. 32 acres, truck parking, and much more car parking. So what we were asked to do by some of the county commissioners when this application was filed was to meet with the community, which we did. And as a result of that, what I want to show you is what happened as a result of that. We heard what the community said, and we addressed many of the issues, not all, obviously, because I'm assuming these folks aren't here 100% in support of us. But we addressed what we thought were the main issues that would address the major concerns. So the comparison, there was a concern about size. So we reduced the size from 32.9 acres to 12.5, reduced the number of car spaces from 89 to 37, the number of truck spaces from 52 to 0. There was a discussion about light pollution. These would be the same types of lights that we would be using if it was a typical McElroy project, where the lights are going to be canopied and pointing down. And there's a discussion about preservation of the home, and the intention has always been to preserve that home. The McElroys have put money into it to preserve it. If you look at it, it's a nice-looking home, and that's the intention to keep it that way. So this is the side area. If you look at the star is where our property is, and just so we have an understanding of what the area looks like. This intersection was the subject of a GDOT improvement that began in 2014. It resulted in a a widening of the intersection, turn lanes, signals, and in all four directions, and a realignment of the road to address issues. And we've got the project. This was done with the support of Spalding County, by the way. It was done to address issues related to safety, congestion, that sort of thing. So those issues have been addressed. At the intersection, you will see that there are two commercial properties already, one of which was a gas station. And for those of you that grew up here, you know that it was a gas station for decades. It closed because it was condemned by GDOT as a part of this widening. And it's important to note that not just the property wasn't just condemned, the business was condemned. It had to shut down. It could no longer operate it because it was too small. So it's been there vacant and abandoned for 10 years. It is not going to be another gas station. Despite what folks have said about somebody expressing interest, for 10 years it has sat vacant because it is too small. So you've got a commercial, what has become a commercial intersection. The property where the McElroys have that front 12.5 acres, it has been vacant and unused for a couple of decades. So it has no reasonable economic use under the current zoning, all right? So that's sort of the landscape of what the intersection looks like. I want to talk about the comprehensive plan, sort of the planning aspect of this. This is in one of 9 intersections in the county called Community Crossroads, which allows, regardless of other comprehensive plan character areas, it allows the introduction of commercial uses. And you'll see in the staff report, the way that it is addressed in the comprehensive plan is that there are 2 commercial uses, contiguous is what it says, for the introduction of commercial uses that serve the neighborhood. That's kind of what these community crossroads are identified as. But you can see in your 9 community crossroads, 5 of them have more than 2 uses that are commercial. In fact, you've got entire corridors that are commercial. And then on the right, we've put examples of almost exactly what we're proposing. So in these other community crossroads, there are other gas stations. And we'll show you some examples of that, including the one that was recently approved as a C1 over in Timon. This is what the community crossroads look like in those 5. And if you look at the pink, that pink is C1. So C1 predominates, or it dominates, and there are well more than 2 adjacent in all 5 of these. I'm not going to talk about all of them, but I do want to talk about one in particular, and that is Jackson, because it's similar. Jackson has 7 C1 properties. It's got 3 gas stations, including one that's just been built, a BP. So this county and the board and the staff have interpreted the community crossroads to include gas stations that serve the community. That we're asking for nothing more. We're just asking to be treated the same way. In terms of the gas stations themselves, these are examples that we will come back to in just a second. But these are just examples. They're old gas stations, new gas stations. And we just pulled out a few examples. None of them are subject to any kind of architectural standards other than what you might imagine as the typical gas station. Now what I want you to do is compare those to the photos that we've got for you. This is what we're proposing. Again, it will be the nicest convenience store in the entire county. And because we will be subject to conditions regarding brick and stone, natural look to it. And so we again just would like to be treated, have this treated the same way. We believe that it's in character with community crossroads with this area. How much time do I have left? Okay. I think what I'll do is reserve the rest of my time for Bowen.
Okay. All right, we're getting ready to start the opposition.
Yes, sir. Stacy Donaldson.
My name is Stacy Donaldson. I live at 1058 Moreland Road. I also own two 8-acre tracts on Moreland and Lakeside. I'd like to thank all of our commissioners who give your time and dedication for the betterment of our community. I'm a Spalding County native. I was born and raised in Griffin, graduated from Griffin High School in 1990. Go Bears. Went to college and moved back to my hometown. I own a real estate brokerage, Heritage Realty Inc., where I'm the broker. We're located in Griffin and been in business since 2003. I take pride in being a Griffinite. I love Spalding County and the district that I live in. A lot of people in this room are my neighbors. The majority of us, mostly in black, live close proximity to this proposed project and feel that this project will negatively affect our way of life. This is rural Spalding County, and this is not the right project for the area. In my professional opinion, the property values in this area will decrease with this project due to the desirability of rural living being impeded. In most rural and agriculture areas, a new gas station with retail spots is more likely to decrease nearby home values because it disrupts the quiet agriculture character of the area. There are several negative impacts that contribute to why the property values could drop. Such impacts are the health and environmental risks, concerns about fuel spills, ground contamination, vapor exposure, benzene, and air pollution. Other impacts are aesthetics and noise pollution from traffic, lighting, and signage, all of which would disrupt rural serenity. This increased commercialization may deter people from seeking rural privacy in this area of the county. A gas station would change the character of the area. This commercial installation can reduce appeal and perceived exclusivity of rural living. People don't purchase in the rural areas of a county because they're wanting the convenience of a gas station. We live out in the county to get away from the traffic, noise, and congestion of a city. The majority of the parcels around this project are zoned R3, A5, and V5 conservation. This is not a commercial zoned area. The crossroad zonings for this property has already been satisfied. The surrounding properties to this are people's homes where they realize the American dream of home ownership, and they should not have to worry about the integrity of their property where they live. The property owners pay hard-earned taxes for a home and land they chose to purchase in a rural area. The property owners did not choose to purchase near a gas station and retail space. People bought in this rural area because it is rural, and they'd like to keep it rural. It was evident to me at the last meeting where strangers came together for the sake of their community. The time and effort that everyone has put into fighting this project is incredible. At a time when people are the most divided in this country, it gives me great pride and comfort in my heart to know that not all is lost in our community. I'm proud to be surrounded by and living around this amazing group of people. All we want to do is to protect our integrity of living, to maintain the rural aesthetics appeal of why we chose to live where we do in Spalding County. Keep Griffin great and growing in the right direction for Spalding County, for its citizens, property owners, and their future. I do not think this is the right project for our area, and I'm against this proposed plan. Thank you for your time, and have a good evening.
Thank you, Stacy. So everybody knows Commissioner Gwen Flowers Taylor has joined us.
Hey, Art.
She will be able to vote now that she has joined us in here. She can hear all the comments that are coming through the great internet. All right?
Haley Robinson.
Eva, how much time is left? 16? Okay.
Good evening. My name is Haley Robinson. I live at 361 North Rover Road. I oppose this development and ask that the board accept the recommendation of the Planning Commission and deny this application. I would like to respond to 3 statements McElroy's attorney made at the Planning Commission meeting. First, that the precedent for C1 has already been set. This is a true statement, but it was set by 2 parcels already zoned C1 at that intersection, not by zonings at other crossroads that do not compare to our rural community. Second, this site is not appropriate for any A1 use any longer, that it is appropriate for C1. That statement is only true for McElroy's plan to develop for financial gain. Nothing has changed in our community. We are still a residential community with access to all needed services within short distances to our homes. And finally, that there is no reasonable economic use for this property under A1, and C1 is the appropriate use. McElroy purchased this land with A1 zoning with no assurances that property would be rezoned to C1. This rezoning doesn't benefit our community, it benefits one developer. Rezoning should serve the public good and not private speculation. Thank you for hearing our concerns, and I hope you will support the quality of life that many of your residents over financial interest of one corporation.
Thank you, Haley.
Gail Stevenson.
How much time left, Gabe?
Good evening, and thank you for giving us the time to speak our concerns. My name is Gail Stevenson, and I have lived on Moreland Road for 11 years. I have read the staff report and their recommendations. I and most of the residents of this community agree with the conclusions presented in the report and hope that the board will respect their findings and deny this application. During the Planning Commission meeting, McElroy's representative made much of the designation of this intersection as a community crossroad, which he did tonight. He contends that the board must approve more than the 2 contiguous commercial parcels and allow more than 2 commercial businesses to operate in our rural community, only because similar development has been approved at other crossroads. However, he fails to provide all the information that is relevant to this rezoning designation. Number 1, of the 9 community crossroads, 2, Sunnyside and Tri-County, are on Highway 1941. They have no valid comparison to our rural 2-lane intersection. Number 2, his reference to the Zatella intersection does not clarify that these 5 commercial parcels are for 2 businesses. This is at the intersection with Highway 16, again, not a valid comparison with our rural 2-lane road. Number 3, those that know the small rural city of Orchard Hill understand that Macon Road is the main thoroughfare for Orchard Hills. It is the only commercial area offering services to the residents, and again, not comparable to our community. Number 4, 3 of the 9 community crossroads only have 1 commercial zoning or business. Of course, he doesn't point out that this is an example of allowing rural communities to remain rural. Number 5, the Jackson Community Crossroads. This intersection is another example of multiple parcels being zoned for 1 business. There are 7 parcels for the 3 businesses at that intersection. Casey's is actually a little down the street, not at the intersection. This is exactly what we are asking our commissioners to not allow in our community. We do not want 2 convenience stores across the street from each other. This would happen because the old Mary Brooks store is in the process of being torn down, rebuilt with gas pumps in the back. We do not want that. It could happen because McElroy's C1 commercial would add across the street. We already have those 2 C1s. So please, we're asking you to hear our concerns. We're a rural community. Our needs are met. There is no need. We have 2 C1 zonings, and they are both operating. And I'm going to give my time over to someone else.
Ms.
Thank
Gill,
you.
if you don't mind, if you would give your address, please.
I'm at 1241 Moreland Road.
Thank you.
There's 12 minutes left, just to keep everybody on. Okay.
Chase?
Ladies and gentlemen, commissioners, good evening. My name is Chase Alexanian. My wife and 2 of our daughters in the back, the pretty young ones. We live at 25 Rover Road. This is the third time that I've stood in this room and spoke on this matter. At the first meeting, I introduced myself, my family, new residents to the area. After a long career in the Marine Corps, including multiple combat deployments, receiving the Purple Heart Medal, other commendations for valor, we came here searching for peace, space, and a place where our children could grow up around horses, trees, and quiet. Instead, we quickly learned that commercial development was being considered just down the road from our new home. At the second meeting, I spoke before the Planning and Zoning Board. I asked them to consider what this area represents. I spoke of a feeling that people get when they drive down windy country roads. They're not looking for the next convenience store. They're looking for open land, the sight of cows in the field, and the charm of wooden fences and rural simplicity. Over the past few months, what has truly stood out for me can be summed up in one word: loyalty. It's a word we don't hear much these days, but here I've seen it come to life. This community has come together, not out of fear or outrage, but out of shared loyalty to something greater, to preserving what this area was always meant to be. Neighbors have opened their homes to strangers just to listen. They've shared stories, histories, and concerns. Most importantly, though, they've remained loyal, not just to their own interests, but to the trust they placed in you all, their elected officials, to be their voice and to stand for what matters most, the will of the people you represent. Throughout these proceedings, the applicant has leaned on the term community crossroads. I won't claim expertise in zoning codes or ordinances. I'll leave that to the county's legal counsel for definition. But I do know what the word community means. A community is made up of people who live there, who know it, who love it, who have built their lives in it. So I ask you this: how can someone who doesn't live in this area, that is represented by someone who does not live in this area, truly be the one to determine what this community wants and needs? You've heard from the other side. No, we don't have any high-powered attorneys from the cities. We don't have competing developers with alternative proposals. What we do have is far more important. We have people, real people, who live here. People who believe the best use for this land is not a gas station or a strip mall, but maybe a farm, a church, a home, or maybe nothing at all. What we offer is simple and powerful, is loyalty. Loyalty to a shared vision for this area, loyalty to the trust we placed in you to protect it, and the loyalty we hope you will show in return. If there's one lesson I carry from my years of service, one that held true on every battlefield, it's this: a group of unified people who are loyal to one another at every echelon cannot be broken by outside forces. We, the citizens of this community, have shown our loyalty. Now we ask that you show yours. Thank you.
9 minutes left. 9 minutes left. Go ahead. Next.
Harold Amons.
Harold Amons, 109 Bethel Way. I've lived there for 23 years. I grew up in that same area since I've been 7. The gas station, Mayor Brook, was needed back 35 years ago. Today, you can go to that intersection and drive any direction you want to go. You can get anything you want within 3 miles. Okay? We do not need this development. The other thing is what's coming next. If you allow this, what are they going to do? They're going to put a big mechanic shop, truck stop, maybe that other plan that they had comes back and you can't hardly turn it down. Okay? So think about that. Think about us. And I'll reserve my time for the rest.
Jordan Vallimont.
How much?
834.
8, okay.
Good evening. My name is Jordan Vallimont, and good to see you all here tonight. My home is 2722, which is the home that the legal team for the McElroys pointed out as being only, quote, 1,000 feet away from their proposed development. I am in opposition to this proposed development. So I'm in opposition to the proposed rezoning of the McElroy development, which is directly across the street from my home. While the legal team for the McElroys address supposed concerns the community has with this development, they do not represent the voice of the majority of concern for this community. There are many reasons for the rezoning not to be approved, such as the increase of traffic, farmlands and cattle being compromised, decreased property values, but I will speak to you this evening what is a pertinent factor for me. For the last 30 years, my family has poured literal blood, sweat, and tears into this community. In these efforts, we have also worked with nonprofit organizations all around the world, in addition to continued contributions within this community's local resources. Some of my nonprofit organizational efforts have included rescuing children out of human trafficking situations and helping families recover from the loss of loved ones to the addiction of drugs. Within my work, I have seen firsthand how the effects of human trafficking and drug usage negatively influences a community. There are young children and teenagers that live only feet away from this development. When you place a fueling station and a convenience store within a rural community, human trafficking and drug usage become rampant. These families that live in the area are at a major safety risk for many angles of this rezoning, for many risk factors if this rezoning is approved. Aside from my personal experience with this, there have been case studies that have been performed to prove my points. If anyone would like to inquire that factual information from me after the meeting. In fact, since the last commissioner meeting regarding this rezoning, there was a 15-year-old girl in this community that was rescued out of human trafficking from a home that was located 2 miles down the road from the police station. The danger is already here in front of our eyes. The risk of increasing human trafficking and drugs will only increase with this development because it is a rural community. I do not believe that the majority of the constituents here today are against growth for Spalding County, but we're more concerned about the risk and safety to our children and our future well-being if you approve this rezoning. It would be a shame for the Board of Commissioners to willingly approve this rezoning that would increase the very efforts so many in our community have fought to prevent, rescue, and protect. I ask that you vote for your people and not a development.
Thank you, Jordan. 5 minutes left.
Althea Nance.
I've lived in Rover, Georgia. That's where we called it. And we were treated like country people, and that's what I am. And I want you to know that we loved where we lived. I went to Mary Brooks' store, and if I didn't have enough money...
Althea, could you give your full name and address, please?
Oh, okay. Althea Carden Nance. And I live at 611 South Hill Street in Griffin, Georgia.
Thank you.
And what I was saying is we have always shared the space in the country. Oak Hill Baptist Church is where I go to church, and I own 50 acres out there. And we don't want to give it up. We don't want things changed. We know about the traffic. Right there where they want to build is traffic country because they're going in different areas. They're trying to beat the red light, and they're having accidents. So I want all of us to think about, do we really want this in our area? Is it going to be safe, and do they care about us? Thank you.
Thank you, Althea. 4 minutes.
Randy Baird. Byard.
Brandy Byard, 135 Bethany Road. I'm gonna speak fast because I hate that everybody that is affected by this doesn't get to speak concerning their lives. The one thing I had all this to write, but I'm not gonna say it. One thing I do want to point out that it's totally not true that he said the gas station will not be a gas station. It's actually plans already done, waiting on the soil test for whoever has to do that, and the plans have already been submitted to David as of today, I believe. from that gas station that fits our C1, our community crossroad. The other thing is, it's already, like GDOT has already done a survey, and it's the 7th most likely to accidents at that intersection already. So to add that to that, the Federal Highway Administration says that 1/4 traffic deaths approximately half of traffic injuries happen at these intersections. And the U.S. DOT says the fatality analysis reporting system says that 20% of people living in rural areas and 32% of them of miles traveled occurs in these rural areas. And 41% of the crash deaths happen in this area. That combined with that dangerous intersection puts all of our lives at risk. And that is the main thing that we are all concerned with. On top of the fact of the light pollution, he said there will be no light pollution, but we all drive down the road and see these new LED lights that shines and blinds us just by driving. So imagine how many will be there at the gas stations. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Brandon. 3 minutes.
Crystal Alexanian.
Good evening. My name is Crystal Alexanian. I'm at 25 Rover Road. You heard from my husband earlier, and everything that he says I agree with, of course. But tonight I'm not really coming to you as a concerned citizen on this specific topic, but tonight I'm speaking to you as a mom. We have 3 daughters, Ava, Ella, and Maddie, 2 of which are here tonight. All of them have been at multiple meetings in this room, town hall meetings, and more importantly, at the dinner table, where we have had so many conversations about this. We have talked about not only this project specifically, but the way the process works, how the Board of Commissioners are voted on, different districts, the importance of local voting, and so much more. It's been a great learning experience for all of us, honestly. We brought them tonight because we want them to be here for a moment that they remember. We want them to see what it looks like when citizens show up, when they speak up, and engage in the democratic process the correct way. At the last meeting, one gentleman said that this was the most people he had ever seen assembled here. I'm pretty certain he said he had been involved in the process since the 80s. That's a lot. The issue matters deeply to this community, and we are here because we believe our voices should count. We have recently heard a rumor that if the commissioners vote no, the company behind this project may pursue legal action. And I want to ask, what does that mean for all of us? If the threat of a lawsuit is enough to sway a vote, then what is the point of the process? What are we teaching our children? Because I want this to be a life lesson for my daughters, that when something matters, you show up, you speak, you vote, and your voice makes a difference. But if this board caves to pressure out of fear, the message we send is that power and money speak louder than people. That threat carries more weight than the will of the voters. I'm asking you to lead with courage, to show our children, mine that are sitting back there and everyone else's, that our voice still matters. The democracy is more than a formality, and that when a community stands together, it is your job to stand with them. Thank you.
Thank you, Crystal. Next speaker has 56 seconds, and then we're done.
Kella Barnett.
Yeah, 56 seconds after you get to the speaker.
We don't want anybody to get hurt. Come on.
Hi, my name is Kella Barnett, 185. I live less than a mile from this 185 Rover Road. I live less than a mile from the proposed development. I chose to build my house there 10 years ago on a property that has been in my family for over 100 years because of the rural and green setting. I am vehemently opposed to this change in zoning from agricultural to commercial, and I beg you as commissioners to listen to the people of this community and not vote for this change. It's our life. Thank you.
23 seconds.
Way to go.
John Collier.
All right. The question that hasn't been answered yet is what we're doing with the other 62 acres. Hasn't been answered. We want to know. When you come up, let us know what's going on, because we don't know.
Mr. Collier,
Number two.
we need your address for the record.
I'm sorry, 359 Rawls Road. Number two, when you bring in an establishment like this, crime goes up. Crime goes up.
Thank you, sir.
Crime goes up.
Thank you.
Applicant still has
7 minutes.
Okay.
I'm hearing from the crowd, I have 7 minutes. If you would,
Keep-
put the PowerPoint up, and you can deduct that from the 7 minutes as you go
No,
forward.
no.
So, thank you for taking the time. I want to address can you go to the last slide for me? Yeah. Right there, yeah, exactly. So, because I'm not going to have a chance to address some of the things that Mr. Allen has put in his staff report, there's a couple things that I think are important for the body to know. One is that there's an idea in that staff report that water will flow to the south and that there are 2 ponds that may be impacted. We had our engineer look at that. We've known all along the opposite is what's true. And because it was such short notice, we had him do it in handwriting form. There is a ridge that runs along that property that's in orange. It's going to run either to the north or south, depending on which side of the ridge you are. But as the properties develop, they'll be cut and fill, and you can see that slope. It's part of the plan. Everything will run to the detention pond. It does not run to the north. It runs to the south. And from there, it is going to go into the detention pond. And from here, I am going to read a statement that I sort of understand, but it is from it's from our engineer. And here's what it says: is the storm water from the proposed development will flow into the proposed detention pond by sheet flow in a series of stormwater conveyance systems. The detention pond will provide treatment chain of devices to satisfy the water quality and channel protection requirements for the development. So it's all going into the detention pond, and then there are EPD requirements to capture any of the pollutants. From there, it runs under the road and into state GDOT culverts, and then into a series of storm catch basins. So it is not going in the direction that is identified in the staff report. There's a couple of things that I want to make sure probably capture some themes that were discussed. One, I want to make sure we're talking about traffic and the intersection. This intersection was improved. It was improved by GDOT as a result of issues related to safety and some of the other things that folks are talking, with the support of Spalding County. This project is not going to add to that traffic because these kinds of uses are capturing pass-by traffic. They're folks that are in the area anyway. The intersection is not is safe. It is now signalized with turn lanes. And in terms of going into the property, there are going to be state mandated, we've got them pictured here, there are state mandated decel lanes. So this is not going to change any of the safety or the traffic concerns. The next thing I wanted to do is talk about the change of the character of the area. And I understand that is an important theme, and we agree with it. That is an important issue. But what we are talking about is not changing the character of the area. It's addressing the character of that intersection. That is why you have, I know the gentleman talked in terms of not understanding legal issues, but in the comprehensive plan, there's a discussion about these community crossroads intersections. The exact purpose of those intersections is to preserve the character outside so that you can have commercial uses at the intersection and preserve the residential uses. The community is right. There are all sorts of R2, R4 that are in the area that the AR, or the agriculture, which this property is not being developed anywhere, probably anywhere in the county, because it is a holding zoning. So the one thing we know is that the current zoning it doesn't have a reasonable economic use. What is appropriate is what's identified in the community crossroads for commercial at this intersection. And despite what the gentlelady said, there is, that property across the street is not going to be developed as a gas station. It was condemned for that very, as that project was widened. The next thing that I wanted to talk about is the, I want to come back to the idea of what has happened, what we've done as we've listened to the community. And that is, I'm going to reiterate what we've done. Gone from 32 acres to 12, 89 car spaces to 37, 52 truck spaces to 0. So we have listened to the community, and the architecture of this building will be the best in the county as it relates to these properties. The last question I want to answer is, what are we going to do with the rest of the property? The honest answer is, we have no idea. We don't know, okay? But what we do know, this property was purchased on the idea that we could develop the front portion as commercial. The balance of the property remains AR. It comes back to you, and if there's a rezoning, it would be up to you to determine. This property does not set the precedent for the back portion of that property, because you have these community crossroads in place which are identified to have commercial uses at the intersections and residential uses as you move away, which is typical of what is happening in some of the commercial crossroads. It's typical of what's happening in these areas where when you're away from the state highways, their property's rezoned R2, R4, but this does not change that character, and the use of the community crossroads really preserves it. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Do I have motion to come out of public hearing?
Was that his 7 minutes?
Yes.
He has
Yes.
10 seconds left, so.
You have 10 seconds left.
Thank you for your time.
Well,
Motion to come out of public hearing.
Second.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Is she still with us? No. Okay. I want to first thank everybody for coming out for this. I am sorry for the people who put their stuff together and then weren't able to talk. You can also believe that we understand how hard it is to put your writing together and step forward in front of the podium, in front of the TV cameras, and be able to do it. We know that is not easy, and we appreciate everybody that came forth to do that. All right. Now it's over to you, Mr. Allen.
Okay, planning commission recommendation back on June 24th was denial. It was a 2-1 vote due to 3 people being there, 3 board members being there. Staff recommendation remains denial. This has been going on for about a year now. There's lots of points in the staff report. Sides for and against have made lots of points on this. So I'd like to, if you allow me, to summarize some of the key issues and points about this. At the June 24th Planning Commission meeting, the attorney for the applicant said that the die was cast that the Rover Zatella Highway 362 Moreland Road intersection.
Excuse me, can everybody hear what he's saying? I want to make sure that this is, okay, go ahead. I'm sorry, David.
All right. At the June 24th Planning Commission meeting, the attorney for the applicant said that the die was cast that the Rover Zatella Highway 362 Moreland Road intersection was destined to become a commercial intersection, looking like the other examples of commercial intersections in Spalding County that he showed. However, these other intersections became the way they are not through intentional planning, but rather through a lack of planning. The BSC now has a chance to not do this at this intersection now. I've never seen a GDOT plan showing a bypass in this intersection designated commercial. Even if it does, thanks to the home rule, the Board of Commissioners determines what zoning is appropriate for certain areas, not the state. The main tools that the Board of Commissioners uses to determine what zoning is appropriate for certain areas is the comprehensive plan and the future land use map. While it is true that these are advisory documents due to being standalone documents and not in the codified zoning code, they still determine zoning approvals. If the zoning case requires a future land use map amendment and a rezoning, then if the Flume amendment is denied, then so goes the rezoning. The comprehensive plan and future land use map tell us that this intersection is a limited commercial intersection, up to 2 parcels only for a needed commercial service. From the maps, the intersection already has 2 commercial parcels, one active and one about to become active soon. At the July 7th BOC meeting, community crossroads standards were discussed. These were the major points that I gleaned from that discussion. One commissioner brought up a valid point of community crossroads being up to 2 commercial parcels, but with some flexibility with an additional parcel possibly being developed to provide a great need for the surrounding community, i.e. a grocery store and a food desert. Currently, within a 5-mile radius of the Rover intersection, there are 3 gas stations with convenience stores, 3 Dollar General stores, and 2 grocery stores. The board must ask itself if a 4th gas station in this area is a unique enough and necessary enough use at this significant rural historical intersection. Number 2, another commissioner spoke about citizens' love of rural character and green space in Spalding County. He said that we should strive to be different with green space than other counties. The Rover rezoning is a great opportunity to be different by preserving the rural character and green areas already at this intersection and not exceeding the intended scope of the community crossroads for another gas station. Is this a unique enough use to harm the rural and historical character here? Making an exception to the community crossroads standards for a 3rd commercial parcel opens up the very real possibility that the southern parcels around the intersection will be requested by someone else to be rezoned commercial. If one exception is made, why not another? Also, if the 12.5 acre parcel tonight is approved, then someone in the future could ask to expand it onto the larger 70 acre parcel. If one exception is made, why not another? I'd like to bring to your attention of the board a paragraph in the constitutional objection of the applicant to a proposed historic preservation ordinance relative to the farmhouse property and a few other historic properties in the county. Basically, it says, additionally, restrictions on permitted uses identified in the ordinance means that the subject property will have no reasonable economic use. The current AR1 zoning on the subject property is nothing more than a holding zoning. It is already restrictive. For under any zoning, the limitations on this parcel, there's no market for under any zoning that the limitations in the vision of the property render the land unusable. For example, there is no market for bakeries, florist shops, gift shops, and certainly not on more than 70 acres or 10 acres in a house if the property is divided. So basically, this is considered a holding zoning according to the applicant. So based on that perspective, this intersection has the potential to be a full-blown commercial intersection in the future on every side. And that starts by allowing exceptions to the community crossroads intent at this intersection. So. That's all I have.
You done, David?
Yes.
Okay. Do I have a motion to deny?
I'll make a motion to deny, and I'd like to have a little discussion.
Okay. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I say.
I have a motion and a second. Discussion?
I'd like to tell McElroy I really appreciate him working. I mean,
Make sure you're talking to the mic.
McElroy actually did try to work this out, and it dropped it tremendously from the original plans, but I think it was totally approached the wrong way. They didn't get out there and inform the community at the beginning, and all of a sudden this monstrosity of a truck stop got released, and it created a great amount of fear amongst the people. I hear y'all. I represent y'all. That's why it's voting no, and I'm hoping and praying it's the right decision, because like somebody else said, there's some consequences come along with this. Always remember, yeah, somebody said the 62 acres. Well, just think past the 62 acres. There's a lot of different big, large tracts of property there. And I'm just going to kind of bring this up. The city of Griffin, you remember the apartment complex a lot of y'all were against? On 362? Well, just keep that in mind in the future. So, things can happen and it happen quick. And that's, like I said, there's not many property owners in between there. That's all I got.
Any more discussion?
I have a real fear that if we deny this, just like you said, the city of Griffin's gonna come in, and we're gonna have a bunch of apartments and, or, you know, some little thrown up subdivision. And as somebody who, lived surrounded by woods and then suddenly was surrounded by a subdivision, I'd have much rather had a small convenience store. All right? I can't tell you how many dogs that were poisoned. I can't tell you how many of my dogs were poisoned, how many dogs were stolen, how many times our cars were broken into, how many, like, and again, I think that as much as we'd like to stop time and say, hey, we're never gonna be anything other than a rural community, GDOT has made sure that that's not the truth. GDOT is rerouting another highway. This is gonna be an intersection of two highways. So to say that nothing is coming, that we're going to be able to maintain a rural quality, GDOT has seen that that's not going to happen. They've seen to it. And again, we didn't get a vote in that. We don't get a say in that. The local citizens don't have anything to do with it. GDOT came in and said, this is now also going to be a highway. So this is an intersection of two highways. And I'd love to say that traffic's going to stay the same. I'd love to say that the rural neighborhood's going to stay the same. GDOT has seen to that that's not going to be the case. So, you know, if I got to choose what goes there, you know, this is 60 some odd acres. Do I want it to be a warehouse? Do I want it to be a giant subdivision? Do I want it to be a bunch of apartments? Or do I want it to be a small gas station? If I had to choose between all those, it's this project.
Okay.
You know.
Okay, quiet, please. All right. Commissioner Watts, any comments?
Well, I was elected to represent the people, and I do hear you guys, and I do listen to you guys. McElroy, I do appreciate you guys and what you guys have done. But like I said, I was elected to represent the people. So thank you.
All right, any more discussion? All those in favor of the denial, please raise your hand. 3, all those opposed, 1. Motion carries for a denial. All right.
Clay, do we want to take a 5-minute recess?
Let's take a 5-minute break, and all of you that are through with this and are happy, please move on out of the way. Thank you.
Wait,
Hold on,
everybody.
Hold on.
I'm sorry.
Did Commissioner Flowers Taylor vote or?
She did not. She dropped off the line. She
Just wanted to
she was
check.
not able to vote.
All right,
Just wanted to check.
thank you all. Please continue to move all the way outside.
All right, that was all. Yes, sir. We speak for you.
Well done, well done. It couldn't have been done any better.
Yes, but she's gonna retire now. Yeah.
But it's an unofficial 5 minutes. You take it long as you need.
We all understand that.
Yes, ma'am. Take care.
Yeah, I would definitely tell
Yeah,
that.
so I said, hey, but yeah, so we all graduated, Tan, her,
Yeah.
we were all good.
So you remember the wham?
How
you doing?
I was
Yes,
with
sir.
Griff. So, yeah.
Public dynamic is messy, but it's always interesting.
How you doing? How you doing? All right. Good to see you. Yes, ma'am. How you doing? All right. Okay. Well, come talk to us. You know where the bakery?
Yes, sir.
Come by the bakery. Cheese and cake. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Thank you, guys. I hear you guys. We hear you. Yes, sir.
Well spoken, thank you.
Across from this property, brick. I used to be in training station here. Roosevelt used to. Oh, okay. And then you need to check my
I've seen that before, and I've never heard of it.
I had to speak, I always put my points on there. This was mine. Famous quote. Remember Pearl Harbor? I'm afraid we done woken up. We did. How you doing? I'm good. All right.
Yeah, that's what most of the just deal with.
Okay, awesome. Okay, red and white. I'm incognito right now.
All right.
He said, I don't know them guys. I don't know.
I walked down and he said, you chose a bad time to put the names on.
Oh, boy. All right, well, welcome to the team. All right, thank you.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing.
All right, Mr. Allen. Take it easy. Yes, sir. I'm gonna go sleep.
Oh, okay.
We just, go ahead. Thank you. Never mind, everybody. I gotta go home.
Most of it's over.
Yeah.
Still not.
We still got 5
It won't be too bad.
Y'all could have warned me. I thought we
What about the previous place next? Yeah, yeah. I thought that.
Absolutely. Okay. Oh, we're waiting for.
Second trimester, you take your time. We are not rushing you at all. Not at all. Not at all.
The mics are hot.
Yeah, I'm just.
All right, we're back in session. Item number 14.
Item number 14, public hearing, application 2506S, Maluan Pasan, owner, 1315 Manley Road, Griffin, Georgia 30223, located in land lot 39 of the 3rd Land District, parcel number 259020016N, consisting of 28 acres. The applicant is requesting a special exception for expansion of an approved religious worship center at 498 Steele Road per section 503B1.
Motion to go into public hearing.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 4-0, we're in public hearing. Dr. Ledbetter, do we have someone who signed up?
Yes, sir, we do. We have 11 people who have signed up this evening. Wendy Krabby. Please forgive me. It's been that way all night for me.
Are these all on opposing?
This is representing the applicant.
Okay. And so, as you remember, those of you that have been here, she get the 20 minutes and 20 minutes.
Okay, thank you. I'm Wendy.
I'm sorry, Ms. Craven, but you don't have to use all of them.
That's correct.
Excuse me, yes. Go ahead, Wendy, thank you.
Oh, I'm Wendy Craby. I am a land use attorney, and I am working with the temple, Wat, Framat, Haja, Naka. My address is 1822 Dorman Avenue, Brookhaven, Georgia. I wanted to just follow up and maybe bring up a couple pictures that we have just to show the property, what it looks like right now, and what they're planning on building on the property. The current property is 17 acres, and that's been in the use for about 20 years as a temple. This is property next door that was owned by a landowner. It's 28 acres, and it is extending into part of that property
the temple complex.
We're getting there, just.
Oh, okay, no problem. I don't think that may not be the first picture, but. I think we can go with that. Okay, this is a copy of the site plan. Over on the left side is what is currently there and already built, and over on the right side, in the middle, it's a long property. In the middle, you've got basically two structures that are planned. One is a worship center, which is like a sanctuary, and the other is like a covered pavilion. There is a home that's currently on the property, and that's going to be expanded, mostly to provide bathrooms for the temple. But the home that's there is remaining. You want to move in? Okay. Okay, you can do the next one. Next. Yeah. Okay, that's just a close-up where you can come in. One of the things that's important to note is at the top of the property that's by the Manley Road, there's a stream there with a stream buffer. There's going to be no development there. And in the southern portion of the property, there's a floodplain, and there is no development there as well. Go ahead. Okay. This is a rendering of what the temple or the sanctuary will look like. It's 2 stories. That's not a 3rd story on the top. That's just kind of a roof decoration. If you want to go ahead and you can move it in. Okay. So the worship center is going to have the same architectural style, the same roof, the same colors as the buildings that are already on the campus. The idea is to have a cohesive grouping of buildings. So they already know what basically it's going to look like. Go ahead. Okay. So this is the inside of the worship room. It's basically kind of an open sanctuary. This is a rendering of the outdoor pavilion. This is the home that is currently on the property, and it's going to have some square footage added to it, but the actual structure is going to remain. This is basically a rendering showing the addition. So this is the property. It's kind of looking back right next to the home, looking back onto Manley Road. So the current driveway that's there is blocked off, and it will remain blocked off. So anyone visiting the temple is not to use the Manley Road exit. It is remaining as a driveway for emergency vehicles only if that's required by the fire marshal. This is just one of the retaining ponds that's on the property right now. I just really want to show this to show that the temple has really worked over the years to landscape and maintain its grounds. This is an existing outdoor pavilion, so that gives you an idea of what that is going to look like. Okay. I think that's it. I am going to, Abbot Passon, who is the head priest, has asked me to read a statement. That is on the signature page?
It is. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. With the utmost respect to the chair of the meeting and all distinguished government officials, I, Falmaha Passon Paliwan, the abbot of the temple, located at 498 Steel Road, Griffin, Georgia, would like to respectfully request permission from Mrs. Wendy Kraby to read the following statement on my behalf. The primary role of a Buddhist temple, as with all religious institutions, is to serve society. This is particularly through offering support that uplifts the spirit, fosters happiness, provides safety, encourages good fortune, and cultivates wisdom.
helping all people live peacefully and beneficially in this world, both for themselves and others, according to their capacity and understanding. The Council of Thai Bikas in the USA, a nonprofit religious organization established in 1976, has been in operation for 49 years and currently oversees 128 temples across the United States. This is the 51st temple under its care. It was founded in 2005 and has served the community for 20 years. It is recognized for its contributions in helping individuals learn meditation practices and cope with personal suffering, whether from work-related stress, family problems, or challenges with youth facing addiction. In 2023, the temple hosted an international gathering of 300 religious leaders from around the world who came to observe and learn from the temple's programs and facilities. Temples, like churches, can be likened to hospitals. Monks and clergy serve as spiritual doctors, caring for all who seek guidance, regardless of their race, religion, or socioeconomic status. The work is done without expectation of compensation, and visitors are not required to pay any fees or change their religious beliefs. We hold firmly to the principle that all lives are companions in birth, aging, illness, and death, and deserve respect, love, and assistance. Every person has the right to practice their own faith, and all religions teach their followers to seek happiness and goodness. It is a great privilege for all religions and religious teachers to be granted the opportunity to practice and serve their communities freely in the United States. Religious organizations are deeply conscious of this blessing and strive to abide strictly by the laws and regulations of each state. The temple will ensure compliance as to any regulations or local ordinances, avoid causing harm to the public, the environment, or society at large. On this occasion, the temple respectfully petitions for approval to construct a new worship hall and to expand our grounds. This is in consideration of the benefit it would bring to the people across Georgia and from neighboring states, those seeking refuge from the chaos of society, yearning for a peaceful, natural environment to heal their confused and troubled minds. They would have a place to study and practice meditation with comfortable accommodations to rest the body and mind, whether during the holidays or times of personal crisis. We hope Griffin will become their first thought as a sanctuary for spiritual renewal. Concerns about traffic congestion should not arise, as the temple is not a tourist attraction, entertainment venue, or shopping center. Its purpose is to maintain an atmosphere of tranquility. On behalf of the temple and all who benefit from its existence, we sincerely thank Spalding County for its longstanding support, guidance, and assistance, which have allowed us to thrive to this day. The temple has full confidence in the legal and regulatory systems to ensure all construction will be carried out properly without negative impact to neighbors or the surrounding environment. We earnestly hope that this petition will be granted for the benefit and happiness of the greater public and for the continued prosperity of our community. Thank you. I know there are a couple others from the temple community that would like to speak.
10 minutes. How much time?
10 minutes.
10 minutes left? Yes.
All right. Next on the list is Teresa Lynch.
Is she a for or against? Okay.
Teresa Lynch, 36 Grayberry Road, Noonan, Georgia. I've been attending the temple. I was invited 15 years ago, and I have been coming since. I find it helps me to deal with this complicated, complex society. It actually teaches us techniques in meditation that will improve our lives and be a better person. I do think that I have, in these 15 years, been happier and able to live a more peaceful life in this complicated, complex society. At the June 24 meeting, it was mentioned that the traffic issues and noise was brought up. In the meantime, I had an opportunity to meet a lady on Manley Road. She lives adjacent to the property of the temple, and a lovely lady. She stated that the temple had not been a problem for her. The noise level was not a concern or a bother. She has no problems with the temple. I asked her if she would come with me tonight, but she declined because she just doesn't get out anymore, and I understand that. 3 years ago, I met another neighbor, and she lives between the temple and vineyard. And we had a nice conversation. I invited her to the temple for lunch. She came and we took a tour, and it was a great chance to talk to her. And she told me in the beginning of the development of the temple that there were local rumblings of worried about disruptions to their quiet neighborhood environment. But she continued, "We have found this to not be the case." Her statement was positive, that the temple is a peaceful place with no disruptions to the neighborhood. I am a retired educator who always looks for fresh, new approaches and strategies to maintain the interest of the students in their studies. Well, I am a student, and likewise at the temple, what our Mike is doing, this meditation prayer hall will just be a fresh asset that will help us to refresh in a new way to learn the teachings of Buddha. I grew up in First United Methodist Church, and I find all the teachings of Buddha blend very well with the teachings that I've grown up with. It just blends with our Christian beliefs to encourage a happier, healthier, more meaningful life. This opportunity is open to anyone in this community. We don't feel isolated at the temple. We feel a part of the community. And I humbly ask that you support this prayer hall. Thank you.
Thank you, Teresa. How much
7.
left? Is there somebody else on there?
Well, if you're on the list and you're in support, I'm trying to work through the support side. And you've signed the list? Not unless you're on the list. So let me go down the list to make sure, and let me ask one side or the other. Tracy McDonald, pro or against? All right. Jeannie Stewart? All right, thank you. Chan Taylor? Okay, thank you. So not speaking, but just translating. Thank you. Van Tran, for or against? Please step forward. State your name and address for the record, please.
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Von Tran. I reside at 2586 Green Valley Drive, Norcross, Georgia, 30071. I'm a founder of First Senior Center of Georgia. It's based in Norcross, Gwinnett County. I'm not a stranger to standing in front of commissioners like yourself. I have had the honor of addressing Gwinnett County commissioners before many issues to better serve our community. I currently serve on the steering committee of Gwinnett County to develop a 5-year plan to help seniors in senior services. In this role, we work closely to bridge the gaps with Gwinnett County to bring additional services to uplift the lives of the most vulnerable population, and that is our seniors. Today, I come here before you not as a community leader, but as a practicing Buddhist who believes in God. Yes, I do pray to God, even though Buddhism teaches us the right way to live and how to deal with issues. I personally travel to the temple about 1.5 hours each way. I pass many other places on the way because I found this place to be one that I feel very comfortable with. Every time I attend the services here, there's never been an issue of loudness. Thai people are very gentle people. We believe in serving the community and be at peace and create a spiritual sanctuary, a place to meditate, to find peace, to reset, and to renew in our busy life. Over the years, this temple has helped hundreds of families, including myself, to overcome difficult times. When there are issues, personal issues that the legal system cannot assist with, when you deal with death, when you deal with cancer, when you deal with divorce, there's no other place except religious institution to uplift us and to help us overcome those challenges. And this place have helped myself, including many families, to overcome those challenges, as well as to strengthen our faith and allow us to go back, refresh, renew, focus to our community to do good work. By voting yes on the special use permit, you're not only similarly approving this religious site to operate at the benefit of the community, you're embracing the cultural and spiritual value that enriches Spalding County. This decision sends a powerful message that this county is inclusive, forward-thinking, and welcoming, qualities that attract businesses, families, and investors to build a future here. I respectfully ask for your support of this Thai temple expansion plan for the good of the community and for the many lives it continued to inspire. Thank you very much for your time and service.
Thank you, ma'am.
Franklin?
4 minutes.
Good evening. My name is Franklin Lee. I reside 4864 Jimmy Carter Boulevard, Norcross, Georgia, in Gwinnett County. I serve as the secretary of the temple that is currently seeking zoning approval here in Spalding County. I'm here today to speak in strong support of this request, not only as a representative of the temple, but as someone whose life has been deeply enriched by its presence. This temple is a scary space. It has guided me personally through life challenges and wisdom, peace, and spiritual clarity. It is a place where I and many others have found strength, purpose, and sense of belonging. But this temple is not just important to me. It has become a spiritual refuge for countless individuals, both locally and from across the country. People travel from all over the country and international to visit this temple for retreat, meditation, and spiritual renewal. In doing so, they bring attention and appreciation to Spalding County, a place it has on the map as a destination for peace and healing. Many Americans, regardless of background, have found solace here. During times of personal hardship or uncertainty, the temple has offered guidance, compassion, and community. It has helped people navigate grief, stress, and life transition with dignity and hope. Approving this zoning request is not just about the land. It's about supporting a place that uplifts life, fosters unity, and brings people together in a spirit of peace and understanding. It's about recognizing the values of space that contribute to emotional and spiritual well-being for our community and beyond. I respectfully urge you to support this special use permit that is the temple may continue to serve as a beacon of light, healing, and harmony for all who seek it. And thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
2 minutes left. Yong Den?
Good evening. My name is Wang Din. I'm from 705 Harbor Point Court, Lawrenceville, Georgia, 3004. So thank you for allowing me to speak in support of granting special use permits for this Thai temple. This Thai temple is more than just a building. It's a sanctuary of peace, compassion, and community service that will uplift and unite us all. It offers meditation class to ease stress and promotes mental well-being in our busy world. As someone who works from home, helping many people to secure loans, I know firsthand how stressful that can be. And these meditation classes provide a vital outlet for myself and many others like me. It holds a vibrant culture, tight tradition that's strengthening bonds across all diverse community. Above all, it serves a cornerstone to helping others, providing the counseling for those who needs, and offering programs in mindfulness and compassion. In Thai culture, temples are vital community hubs, and this will follow that tradition. Similar sanctuaries have transformed neighborhood elsewhere, fostering harmony and reducing crime through engagement. I urge you to approve these permits. By doing so, you're not just approving a structure, you're nurturing a strong, more compassionate community. Let's create a brighter future together. Thank you.
Thank you.
32 seconds.
Right, there's 32 seconds left. Edward Allen, for or against?
From the engineers, they're gonna answer any questions.
Sweet, all right, thank you much. So you're not gonna speak this evening? All right, thank you. Wyatt Holt? Sorry, please forgive me, Wayne Holt. Are you for or against? All right, thank you. So no one else is speaking for, and I believe you've got 32 seconds left if you want to reserve.
Yeah, we'll reserve that for rebuttal.
All right, thank you. Tracy McDonald, please step forward, state your name and address for the record.
If I could, he's gonna go first. He had to leave last time he was here, and he didn't get to speak, and he speak first, and then and Ms. Laney, and then I'll come up.
All right,
My name's Wayne Holt. I live at 1390 Manley Road. I live directly across the street from the Buddhist property, and we've been living there 23 years. It's a beautiful country setting. My house faces directly towards their property. I have a rocking chair front porch. My wife, my family, we sit out there, we look over the view, the trees, and the last thing we want to see is a Buddhist temple sticking up. From what I understand, it's 50 feet tall, which is near 5 stories. Just sitting on our front porch would just ruin that view. Not to mention our neighborhood character, it just doesn't fit the country setting for our neighbors, my family that we enjoy. They already have a religious center. You've seen it on their picture. It looks pretty big. They're calling it a retreat. Why wouldn't it remain a retreat? Why would they want to get bigger and eventually bigger and bigger and bigger? And they're bringing in people from Brookhaven, Jimmy Carter, Norcross to speak on their behalf, but they don't live in our area. Not to mention traffic. You're already doing a traffic study at the top of our road for a commercial setting. I see their cars when they come for an event. 15, 20 of them go by at a time. You immediately know where they're going. So I would just like to ask that you deny this expansion. So, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
18 minutes.
Tracy McDonald. All right, thank you.
My name is Tracy McDonald, 1322 Manley Road. I guess that I don't think that the Buddhists understand it's not about their religion. I don't care who worships who. They have every right to worship whomever they want to. They say in tranquility and all this. That's what we have now. So we would like to keep it It's kind of like 362. You know, we have cows, we have gardens, we have horses that still ride up and down the road on the side of the road. You know, we're rural, we're agricultural. And yes, they're peaceful, but they are asking people to come in and talk about their religion. This is not about the religion. This temple is like going to be a big Buddhist temple. And like Mr. Wayne said, they have a temple or a religious place now that looks like a hotel. And it was approved a long time ago. Well, I don't know how long ago, but it's huge. And to have another one that's going to be very ornate, very different than the country setting, that's just something that we don't want with the traffic, the pollution. And if anybody sees that there's a lot of commercial for sale on 1941. I think maybe the Buddhist temple, with the way it looks and everything, would be great up there. But not on our land where we're barns and country, and it's going to be sitting right in the middle of all that. And it's going to be ornate, and it's going to be big. And I think our resale value will go down. And we're already fighting up the road. 2 or 3 years ago, we had to fight right across the street from us one other time about putting modular homes in instead of a stick built. We got that one, but it seems like we're just going to keep getting pushed to where a lot of people is going to move out of Spalding County because we're losing all of our country, all of the land that we've been on forever. My cousin that'll speak next, her family owned most of that property, and she's lived there all her life. So we would just really like to keep it. What they have now, they can do whatever. But now they're going to have big parking lots, and it just doesn't fit. And it's nothing against their religion. And all the people they brought here, it's been about their religion. That's not it. It's about the site, what it's going to bring, the pollution, the people, the cars up and down. That's what we're worried about. Thank you.
Jeannie Stewart.
How many?
15.
Hello, my name is Jean Stewart. I live at 1301 Manley Road, Griffin. I've lived there, I've lived on Manley Road all my life. My grandfather owned from the bridge all the way to Steel Road at one time and sold numerous properties off to live on. He was retired military and then a farmer. He farmed all that land, and he owned the land that they're speaking of. And frankly, I don't even know how Terry Sweat built a house back there because it's swamp and doesn't perk. So I've been on that property many a time. And it's not about the religion, it's about the big old temple that we're gonna have to look at from across the road, and all the people that's coming in, you know, they're not from here, doesn't seem like. But we're worried about our property values, our children, our grandchildren, riding horses, walking dogs, you know, cows. It just doesn't fit for our lifestyle. Our life will change dramatically, our lifestyle and our property value. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, that's all who have signed up for this application.
Motion to come out of public comment.
All right, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Still have, I believe, a little bit of rebuttal.
They do, you've got 32,
All right.
32 seconds.
32 seconds.
Withdrawn. Withdraw my proposal.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I just want to clarify that the worship center is 2 stories high. It is not 5-story high. It's, the 2 stories are 35 feet with the roof on top. And there is some parking. There are gravel lots, not paved.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, James.
Great, you've got, she's wanting to use a little bit more of her time. Is that all right with you, sir?
Yes, yes. You got .
She said it's 2 stories. It is 2 stories, but it has the big temple top on it. The other thing is we had 2 other people that couldn't come last time, and they sent letters, and I handed them to the gentleman there. I didn't know if any of y'all got to hear those, but,
Yes, they're part of the packet.
okay, thank you. Thank you, sir.
Is that everybody?
Mr. Chair, that's all.
Okay.
Motion to come out of public hearing.
All right, we have a motion, and do we have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. We're out of public hearing. Director?
Sir, so this went in front of the planning commission back on June 24th. It was recommended denial, 2-1 vote, only 3 members present. During that meeting, there was comments made by board members that, how shall I put this, are irrelevant to what you need to consider. So I ask that you set aside the planning commission recommendation and go solely with the staff recommendation, which is based on the code. Staff recommendation is for approval, given the fact they meet all the requirements set forth for places of religious worship mentioned in section 503B, which is listed in your staff report. Staff recommends approval for this. There are several approval conditions that I could go over if this board wishes.
Yes.
Okay. And I'll have some discussion about one of them at the end. Staff recommendation approval meets all code requirements, should not negatively impact Manley Road. Following approval conditions shall apply. Number 1, no access to Manley Road shall be allowed except for emergency restricted access approved by the fire marshal. And the fire marshal met with them and made a plan for just that. Number 2, the buffer should be.
How would you access it?
There will
If
be.
you can't access it through Manley.
They have a separate road. that
They'll
they
use the
block
steel
off.
road access that they already have.
Oh, one of those properties there is also
Yes.
part of it? Okay.
It'll be blended in with Steel Road. Number 2, the buffer should be reevaluated in the field by the community development director and shall provide evergreen screening material where necessary. So basically I need to go out in the field and make sure there's no gaps there and plant some material where there's possibly gaps. Number 3, all building permits and inspections shall be obtained. Number 4, an erosion sediment control plan shall be submitted for approval. Number 5, if the proposed temple exceeds the maximum 35 feet in height for portions intended for human habitation or occupation, then it will shall require an improved variance prior to permitting. I spoke with the Ms. Craby about this, and they provided a different plan. Basically, the maximum height for places in a building that can be occupied by humans is 35 feet. That does not include projections. She gave me a updated building elevation which shows clearly the parts that will be occupied by human beings is only 32 feet 8 inches, so no variance is needed. There's an additional 14 and a half above that for some projections above the temple building. So no variance is needed, so you can strike off approval condition 5.
Okay.
Is there any like overnight staying at this place? I mean, that.
I'll have to confirm that.
I just have a few questions.
Ms. Craby.
Occasionally there is, if there's a specific scheduled meditation session, there are a couple of the priests who live in parish housing on the property.
Okay. I know this for like a mental treatments and stress treatments and stuff like that. I mean, there's nobody like being court ordered to go for treatments or anything like to this location or for any kind of like. I know these are just questions, but I'm just.
That's a good
I mean,
question.
y'all, they don't have nobody that's going to snap and go just lose it out there, right?
Yeah, it's voluntary.
Yeah, and he answered the question. It's nonprofit, so anybody can go out there at any time.
Yes.
Okay.
Do I have a motion to approve?
I'm gonna make a motion to approve.
All right, do I have a second?
I say.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
For me, it's a religious worship center. It seems very.
All right.
simple to me.
Please forgive me, Mr. Chair. This
Oh,
is
motion
a
to
motion
approve with conditions.
Thank you, sir.
That's
Yes, thank you. All right,
that's what I meant to say.
all right,
With the
motion,
exception of number 5. So
So-
condition 1, 2, 3, and 4.
5 they've changed so that they're within that. This is the top portion.
Okay, so
Yes.
Yes, sir.
but why not include 5?
Because the variance is not necessary based on the most up-to-date building elevation.
But if they change, and we don't have 5,
Well,
If they change and you don't have 5, then they would have to come back with a variance.
right.
okay, so they would have to come back regardless.
correct,
of
yes, sir.
Okay. Then motion to approve with 1 through 4 conditions.
Okay, and I second it.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion?
Again, it's a religious worship center.
All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 3, all opposed, like sign. 1, motion carries. Thank you. All right. We're at 15, right?
We're at 16.
16, okay.
Mr. Chair, this is application number 16 on the agenda for this evening, public hearing, North Expressway Improvement District Review. Ariana Enterprises LLC owner, 205 Birdie Road, Griffin, Georgia, 30223, located in land lot 105, the Third Land District, parcel number 242D04001, consisting of 2.5 acres. Per section 2207D, review of site development plans for a proposed convenience store with gas pumps is required.
All right, take a motion to go into public hearing
Motion to go into public hearing.
and a second.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 4-0, we're now in public hearing.
Mr. Chair, no one has signed up for this application.
Motion to come out of public hearing.
A motion, do I have a second?
Second.
A motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 4-0, we're out of public hearing. North,
Mr. Chair, this is item number 17 for consideration, North Expressway Improvement District Review, Ariana Enterprises LLC owner, 205 Birdie Road, Griffin, Georgia, 30223, located in land lot 105, the Third Land District, parcel number 242D04001, consisting of 2.5 acres. Per section 2207D, review of the site development plans for proposed convenience store with gas pumps is required.
Is this not along?
It is, this is
1941
along
Birdie, right?
1941 and Birdie Road. And I believe Mr. Allen is up for staff discussion.
Yes, sir. So I don't think the board has gotten many of these in the past. You'll probably get more in the future. This is not, to clarify, this is not an approval of this use. It is a permitted use in that zoning and the overlay. What you're required to do, because the North Expressway Improvement District seeks to make things look better slowly along the highway, you are approving the design of the building, landscaping, and site layout. I have analyzed this for you in the staff report, and overall, it's a good plan. In the staff recommendation, I did highlight some areas that need to be addressed, and I think they can be easily addressed. Number one, the building side facing Birdie Road needs a 75% brick veneer. Currently doesn't have that.
Why just Birdie Road? Why not Birdie Road in 1941?
Well, it already has it on 1941.
Okay, so this is
complies. It's just not on that side. Does it comply?
so,
It faces the road.
so it's already got it there. We're gonna add it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, check.
Once again, these are just the deficiencies I found. Number two, the detention pond fence needs to be metal. That's per that overlay. And then number three, a field evaluation of existing trees needs to be performed by Spalding County regarding the final landscape plan. So the applicant has graciously agreed to preserve many of the trees out there in the front. And I can't believe I'm saying this as a landscape architect, but I kind of wish he would get rid of some of the trees. I know that's, I'm gonna go on record as saying that's a crazy statement.
Lightning will
but-
strike you.
Yeah. I guess the landscape plan needs to look more formal, so we need to evaluate what's out there to see if it's worthwhile or not to keep. Some of it probably is, a lot of it probably isn't, and come up with a better landscape plan that way. So these are three small deficiencies that I think can be, redone relatively easily. So I do recommend overall the design for approval, and of course, we need to address those three items.
Motion to approve with, staff recommendations.
All right. 1, 2, and 3.
Additions. Yeah, 1, 2, and 3.
All right, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 4, 0, motion carries. All right, now as I remember, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 are all tabled.
That is correct, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, we're at 23. Public hearing,
We are.
okay?
Motion to go to public hearing.
Would you like for me to read that into the record?
He's ready to go. Yes, please.
Public hearing proposed text amendment to Appendix 4 zoning ordinance of Spalding County, Article 14A, C1C manufacturing light, Section 1403B8, and Article 17 PDD Plan Development District, Section 1703A6, pertaining to revisions to data center standards and processes.
Motion to go to public.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 4, 0. We're in now in public hearing.
Yes, sir. We have 3 people who have signed up for a public hearing this evening on this text amendment. Harvey Clark. All right. Zachary Fuller. Okay. Stephen Jones. Oh, sorry. Please forgive me. I didn't see you jump up over there.
Sorry. All right. So, my name is Zachary Fuller. I live at 1708 West Poplar Street. I'm not aware of this exact text amendment. When I signed up, I believed I was signing up for number 18 and 19. But since it is pertinent to the data center, I will quickly say that the data center that was just built in Peachtree City, just north of here, takes up the same amount of energy and water as about 60,000 houses, which is about the same amount as the population of Spalding County. So any data center that may be built here, I don't think it's worth the investment, because it would be about 400 jobs per unit, depending on how large it is. And I don't think that's worth doubling our resource usage. And that's what I have to say about that. Thank you.
Thank you, Zachary.
Stephen Jones.
Welcome back, Stephen.
Chairman, Commissioners. My name is Stephen Jones with the law firm of Taylor Duma. My address is 1600 Parkwood Circle, Suite 200, Atlanta, Georgia, 30339. I know after public comment, staff will review the ordinance. I just wanted to go through a few things that we had discussed at the Planning Commission regarding potential revisions to this revision to your data center ordinance. First, the proposed revision would require that full availability statements be provided for water, sewer, natural gas, and electricity from all relevant utility companies. You've heard me say this before in reference to other public hearings for data centers, is the way the electricity providers are operating at this time. They're generally seeking entitlements prior to full power agreements or power purchase agreements being entered into. So we just request that that provision be clarified, that those availability letters be provided at the time of land disturbance permit, because they can't be provided practically at the time of zoning. So at the time, in other words, you just got proof that you got the utilities. And I believe Mr. Allen, when we talked to the Planning Commission, was okay with that.
Okay, thank you.
Next, there's a provision about the exterior materials. We would just like clarity that the masonry includes tilt-up concrete panels or typical concrete paneling that you would see on an industrial building. Also, there's a provision for a noise study. We'd like clarification that that would also be at the time of land disturbance permitting, and perhaps clarification as to what that study would entail. There's another provision that says acoustic noise minimizing walls may be required on main buildings and generator areas. Maybe a comma based on the noise study, just so we have some clarity about, you know, what might require that. With that, I'd ask, you know, that you make those revisions just so you give the industry some clarity. Most specifically and most importantly is the utility availability letter, because we paint ourselves into a chicken and the egg scenario if we require them prior to LDP. And then just some industry clarity around that, the noise study, and what the materials for the building are. If you have any questions of me, I'd be happy to answer those. Otherwise, I'd ask that you incorporate those recommended or requested revisions. Thank you so much, Chair, Commissioners.
Thank you, Stephen.
Anybody else?
No, sir, that's all who have signed up.
Motion to come out of public hearing.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 4-0. Okay. We're out of public hearing. David, we're back to you, I think, aren't we?
Okay, so we had previously approved this ordinance back in December of last year. These are the suggested changes based on our experiences recently with data centers. As Mr. Jones mentioned, the added changes were full utility availability statements, including water, sewer, natural gas, and electricity required, acoustic and noise studies required. Very important, a closed loop cooling system for the water is required to conserve water.
And that's different than our surrounding counties. Nobody else is requiring a closed loop system. I know the one in Peachtree City just like flows through. It uses like 10 million gallons a year.
It really needs to be that way, yes, sir. And then the detailed decommissioning process that we mentioned in the past item a couple of weeks ago is now will be codified into this code as well. I don't have a problem with what Mr. Jones was saying. Matter of fact, I think we worked that same wording into the approval conditions of the data center 2 weeks ago. Don't have a problem with that. So basically, the availability statements, especially electricity, would be done at the time of the land disturbance permit, as is the noise study. I will clarify in time for the second reading that the exterior materials, yes, you can use concrete. We had another project recently with the Industrial Development Authority. They clarified it. They thought masonry was concrete panels as well as brick. So I will put that in there as well. So that's a clarification on that point, that the tilt-up concrete and the concrete panels can be considered masonry. So,
what was brought up earlier, the noise barriers, I don't think it should. I think it should be required around the generators. Like, I don't know about the whole building. Maybe if the noise study comes back and says that the whole building needs it, but like around the generators, that was another big problem that like the one in Noonan and the one in Peachtree City are having is their generators when they kick on.
Yeah.
Now ours, of course, are going to have less power outages because we also require them to be near like existing power easements, so they don't have to.
Yes.
So they're not going to lose power as much as the ones elsewhere do. But yeah, I think that should be no matter what the noise ordinance says, if a generator kicks on,
yes,
you know.
Just as an aside, Mr. Chair, if you don't mind, personal point of privilege. The chair and I went last week and participated in the local legislative forum for ACCG. And during the discussion, one of the topics specifically was around data centers. And just to toot the horn of Spalding County, we are actually leading in the charge for the state with respect to the ordinances that we're putting together, the way that we're pushing on our data centers to come and be a part of our community, but to be a part of our community with
on our terms.
On our terms, meaning that we are not putting the water down the drain, so to speak. We're asking them to do a closed loop system in order to preserve that resource. There have been a number of communities across the state that have reached out and asked for a copy of our zoning ordinance, even though it's redlined right now, based on the conversations that we've had. So kudos to Mr. Allen and to our zoning attorney and to those in the community who are participating in making this project a viable project for our community and leaning in and sharing their thoughts and concerns. We very much appreciate that. So thank you, Mr. Chair.
Just so that for the commissioners, when Steve stood up and started talking to the senators and the representatives and the people in the room, as soon as that conversation ended, I was trying to sit kind of close to him. Everybody and their brother, if you'd just move out of the way, we want to talk to him about what he's got. So it's always nice to have him around. All right.
As another point of privilege, I've been invited to participate at Georgia Tech next week for a forum to have a discussion about AI and the data centers that are coming into the state. So very much appreciate the fact that you allow me to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you're the best there is. Okay. We're ready to vote?
I believe we're ready to vote. This is the first reading for this ordinance. So yes,
And we're
sir.
gonna get that, all the clarifications that we asked for.
Yes,
before
all the
second
noted
reading.
changes I will put into there for the
We
second
don't
reading.
have a motion yet. All right, do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 4-0, motion carries. All right.
Mr. Chair, I believe our county attorney has requested that you consider tabling number 25 as well.
Or at least one section of,
All right.
or at least one section of it dealing with historic preservation, because that's got to. it
Motion
has-
to table.
Motion to
Oh,
table.
do we need a public hearing, or do you table the whole thing and put it in the hearing? Can we go ahead and have the public hearing?
Is there anybody signed up?
There's no one who has signed up. The one person who
Let's
signed
table
up
that too.
actually
May I have a suggestion?
withdrew.
Let David explain where we are with this and that it's ready, and then, like I say, there is one section that is potentially problematic until we get the historic stuff finished.
All right,
Okay.
David.
Do you want to do the public hearing as well? Nope. All right. So this ordinance has been in the works for several months, trying to raise the bar on architectural standards and construction standards as well. So it's runs the gamut of all types of buildings, commercial, residential, industrial. The one section that, everybody is talking about is, I believe, Article 17 in here, dealing with, preservation of historic buildings. There has also been a proposed historic preservation ordinance, which has been tabled for a while, due to some issues with a certain property. Likewise, we got a constitutional objection for that particular portion of this architectural ordinance today from Mr. Felstool. Did I butcher his name? Okay. I got it right. Just on the Article 17 part dealing with the historic, properties, which is fine. We'll go through that process. I'd like to suggest, and it's up to y'all, that we treat it as a line item veto and maybe exclude that section and possibly move on with the other sections, but that's up to the board, so.
The,
And we gotta go to public hearing. so-
Attorney, did you have a comment?
all I was gonna say was, the problem with the historic section is that it relates to the same issue that was raised in challenges to what will be Appendix P. And to be candid, this relates to challenges applicable to the Williamson Gassard House in Rover. The Appendix P section is not ready to come to you. And Section 17 includes parts that will be in Appendix P. We need to leave the historic stuff alone for now until both appendices are consistent and have been reviewed by the Planning Commission. There is a workshop on this Tuesday evening at 5.
Yes, and then
Planning Commission will consider Appendix P in its hearings next Tuesday. So
So I guess since you tabled the public hearing, you can't very well consider it without
That
the
is,
public hearing. so.
you've not tabled anything yet, but, the one person that had signed up,
All right,
asked to
let's
be
go into public
withdrawn.
and get that done. All right.
Motion to go into public hearing.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Is anybody signed up that's here?
No, sir.
Motion
was
to come out
second?
of public.
Who was second?
I'm ready. Motion to come out of public hearing.
All right, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. We're back out of that. All right,
Motion to approve as with the guidance of staff, so excluding the part that staff says is not ready.
Meaning the exclusion of adopting
Yes.
the historic preservation
Right.
section.
Excluding that section
okay,
under the advice of staff.
we have that. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
And this is also like a first reading, right?
That's
That
correct.
is correct.
Yes, sir.
All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 4-0, motion carries. Okay. Where are we now?
Hang on.
Okay.
27.
You're at 26. Nope, you're at 27. That is correct. 27. Public hearing, proposed text amendment to Appendix 4 zoning ordinance of Spalding County Articles 1 through 4 pertaining to necessary corrections, clarifications, and improvements to uses and standards in certain portions of the zoning ordinance.
This is a combined public hearing for Articles 1 through 4. At this time, I'd entertain a motion to go into public hearing.
Motion to go into public hearing.
And a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 4-0, we're now in public hearing.
No one has signed up for this application this evening, sir.
Motion to come out of public hearing.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? I have a motion and a second to come out of public hearing. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 4-0, we're out of public hearing.
David, this is the one we just talked about, right? This includes that language, right?
No, sir, it does not. This is the beginning of the zoning code changes. This is the first 4 articles of that. You will be getting successive articles in the next few months.
All right, we're in Article 1, right?
Yes, sir. Well, I treated the combined public hearing, but treated all different Article 1, 2, 3, and 4 as separate action
All right,
items.
why don't we take Article 1, talk to us quickly.
So it's a general section. It introduces the zoning code. There are some necessary updates in there to certain references to development ordinances, and that has been changed, as you can see in there. Several outdated references were in there, so that's the main gist of Article 1.
And all of these have been reviewed in workshops through
Yes.
the planning commission before coming to you.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve Article 1
Motion to approve.
and a second?
Second.
And a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 4-0. Item 2, Article 2.
Article 2 is the definitions section. This has been improved in several ways. First and foremost, we got rid of the dreaded letters and primes and primes and have a numbering system instead. So that's all gone. We also organize them based on their categories: general land use, housing, airport, so on and so forth, so you can find them easier. We've grouped all the definitions into one section instead of having them scattered out throughout the code. We updated several definitions that needed to be updated, and we've added some new ones to be possible, again, emphasize possible new uses in certain zoning districts as we change the zoning districts.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 4-0, motion carries. Item number, Article 3.
All right, Article 3 is fairly short, like Article 1. Hold on, let me get to it for a second here. Get through all the definitions. Bear with me. Man, it's a long section.
We have a lot of definitions.
Establishment of districts. There's basically nothing real major about this, just some words updated. I did group the overlays into one section instead of having them in the other section. Just added a few overlays which were somehow not mentioned in the overlay part, so just some general clerical stuff.
Correct.
All right.
Motion
And
to
Planning Commission,
Approved.
They reviewed this as well.
Yes.
they approved. Okay. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 4-0. By my calculation, old business item 1 is tabled.
You're on
So we got
31.
Article
Oh.
4.
You've got,
You got one more of these.
29.
Oh, we're at Article 4.
Correct.
David?
Okay, so this is a much more robust section, took a lot more time, lots of clerical things, updates. The House Bill 1405 from last year is now included in here. That was already codified, but for some reason was not showing up on Mooney Code.
Well, the ordinance is there, but they have not codified it since it was adopted in 2023.
Perhaps one of the most major things about this is of course, we're gonna be deleting the Board of Appeals and how that is reflected in this article and changing of roles from Board of Appeals to Planning Commission. I'll let Mr. Galloway elaborate on that a little further.
Yeah, he's got a big.
What you approved in 23 essentially included the required adoptions that we had to do to comply with House Bill 1405. And 1405, for example, made a special exception or a variance, including a variance, if it's part of a rezoning application, it proceeds as if it is a rezoning. The only thing left is a standalone variance or an appeal from one of David's decisions. Now, ironically, we have had 2 appeals recently for the first time in 15 years. But lo and behold, they came up just as we're looking at eliminating the Board of Appeals. But the bottom line is, all of this will now go to the Planning Commission. And if it's, like I say, if that variance is part of the rezoning, it's going to come to you. The Planning Commission would be now called the Planning and Appeals Commission. And they will hear standalone variances, and they will hear appeals from decisions where there's an error asserted by the Community Development Director, or that the Community Development Director erred. Now, under the current text, those 2 things will be at the Planning and Appeals Commission, and you would not hear those. And part of the reason for that is because they remain quasi-judicial decisions as opposed to a quasi-legislative decision over which you are the legislature of the county. And the standards of review, if a challenge is made between an appeal, between a variance, and something that's now tied to a rezoning, are very, very different. So we are keeping the standalone variance with the Planning Commission. If you will look at our recent agendas, you are having to have 2 agendas per month. And that will not change in the immediate near future. And we can keep the variances, for example, the side yard and rear yard setbacks in Sun City, which are 10 to 15 foot variances, can be handled perfectly well at the Planning and Appeals Commission. All right.
Okay. And Gwen's okay with this, right? Okay, all right. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
And do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Okay.
David, when can we see and vote on what we talked about tonight? What me and you talked about tonight, like the PECs and the PVC.
Oh, for the architectural stuff?
Yeah.
I will try to have that. We're gonna have an August 11th and an August 28th POC. I will try my best to make it August 11th.
Awesome.
All right, the next,
Awesome.
everything else has been tabled, correct? The next meeting we have is August the 11th,
Correct.
and then we have August 28th.
That is correct.
All right, for us to be able to do this. All right. Any last minute comments from the commissioners?
No, sir.
All right,
I just wanna thank
David
all the folks who
or
came. That
Newton,
was-
either one of you two have comments?
All talked out.
Your agendas are, I will say this, your agendas are getting more complex than this
Thank you.
board has had since pre-recession. And another factor about 1405, the implications of that is you are having to look at rezoning, special exceptions, and variances all in one package. And we have never had that before, but that's required under 1405.
I would like for you all to make it simpler for us, but I understand. All right, any,
That's the
Eva?
state.
Either, all right,
No, sir.
all right. Do I have a
Motion to
motion to adjourn?
Motion
I have a
to
motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. We're adjourned
About an hour ago.
before 9 o'clock.